Cjethsyt. With last night's loss, it looks like the season for the Rangers is over. First video I've made in a couple of weeks, I think. I don't really remember. I'm not really doing a good job keeping track of my videos, but in honor of, unfortunately, oh, my hair is ugly. In honor of a lost season, I'm wearing my Rangers Cjeths jersey to commemorate the lost season. It was fun, but it's over. Little sneak peeksy at the season-ending video. You've seen too much. That's all you're going to see. I'm not going to review last night's game. I'm not. It's hard to watch. What I am going to do is take off this jersey. And the jersey underneath it belongs to the Rangers. New first line center. Nope. Take off my hat first. You know, I've long been a Cjeths fan, but he can't do it on his own, and I think the Rangers need a backup plan at center. And I think the jersey of this player will be the next 1-2 punch center down the middle with Cjeths. I don't know if he's going to be number 1 or number 2, but I think Barkov in the 2022 free agency, I think the Rangers are going to make a tough push for him. But then again, I'm a very impatient human being, and as much as I think it would be smart to wait for the 2022 off season, I just can't. We're New Yorkers, all right? Most of us are. I live in North Carolina now, but we are impatient at heart. We don't wait for things to happen. We make them happen. So, Mr. Barkov, as much as I want to sit here and wait for you, because I do, because I love you, you're a great player, I think there's one player right now that just tickles my fancy a little bit more. And at the expense of top prospects, draft picks, and everything we built this team around, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for the offseason. I think I'm ready to get weird this offseason. I think I'm ready to just make some obscene trade proposals. Because Cjeths needs help. Our top guys, for the second year in a row, have shown when it's clutch time, they kind of fall asleep a little bit. So, now, I am not here to shit on Cjeths. I'm not here to shit on Panarin, Kreider, Fox, anybody. Because quite frankly, last night, I don't think they played bad. I think that other teams realize that we are a top-heavy team. We do not have much depth. And in Panarin, Cjeths, Fox, and all of our top players' defense played against arguably the best defensive team, or the defensively structured team in the NHL. And when they put out their best shutdown players against your top scorers, well, there's a reason that, what's the best way to describe this? There's a reason there's only a handful of 40-goal scorers in the NHL and only a handful of point-per-game players in the NHL. It's not easy to score goals. It's quite easy to defend against goals when you have 5 players in a strong Barry Trotz system stopping them from scoring. You know, there's a reason the penalty kill percentage is, for good teams, in the 80s, high 70s, and power play percentage for great teams is in the mid-20s. Harder to score than it is to not. And when you don't have much depth and you're only really trying to shut down 1 or 2 lines, the defending team is going to have a field day. And I think that the Rangers need to get a little bit deeper. Now, we were also physically bullied last night, and I don't think Jack Eichel is going to stop us from getting bullied. However, you'd have a hard time arguing that Zibanejad, Panarin, and Eichel being split up on 3 different lines, or if not Eichel, Barkov. Hear me out, because I'm going crazy. You'd have a hard time telling me with those 3 lines that scoring goals would be difficult, because one of those lines is getting out there against the 3rd or 4th line forward line or the 3rd pair defense on whatever team you're playing against. One of those lines with a top tier player is going to be playing against crappy competition. One of them is. And even if you put 2 of them on the same line, one of them is playing against the 2nd pair, which could be good. But then you have a 3rd line with Capo. Probably not Hito because he would get traded. I don't know. It's... Ah, man. It sucks. Really, really sucks that the season ended this way because I held out hope. I'm not going to lie. Not going to cap. On a mathematical level, the Rangers technically aren't eliminated yet, but we are 6 points out. And the Bruins play against shitty teams, and we play against basic all playoff teams. So yeah, the season's pretty much over. I mean, it's that is pretty much it. And it's crazy because goal differential, the Rangers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league. ROW, not as much this year. Well, regulation overtime, yeah, but still. We didn't do ourselves any favors. Had a lot of 1-point games, 1-goal games. I don't know, man. Just, I don't want to. I'm not going to get into it too much this season yet because 1, the season's not over, and 2, I literally have a giant video planned for the end of the season. Probably be about a 20-minute video, maybe even 30 minutes, because it's a pretty big, in-depth slideshow and a lot of stuff I want to talk about it. What we can talk about is the here and now. We'll do a quick armchair GM. Just to go over the end of the season. There is one... Actually, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not a robot. What should we name this roster? What should we name this custom roster? Yeet. Let's see. So, Howden's out for the rest of the season. He broke his foot. Barron just got called up. And Raywin got called up. This really sucks. I'm just going to move you there. Boom, 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 boom. Trouba's hurt. Lindgren might be hurt. Get out of here. Sit down for a little bit. Let's do that. Yeah. What I don't understand is last night, how and why. So Chris, you're fighting for your playoff lives. You lose your 6'3", 220-pound, fast skating goal scorer on the left wing. And instead of putting in your 6'4", 230-pound right winger who is as fast and much more skilled, in my opinion, much more skilled with his hands, maybe not as experienced, definitely doesn't put the same numbers, but as skilled as him, you put in Phil Cjethsyt, who's like a 13th or a 14th forward, like on a decent team. That to me made no sense. But nonetheless, here we are. Yeah, man, shit. Well, they called up Barron. They called up Rayonen. I don't think Lindgren or Trouba. Honestly, probably not even Kreider are gonna be playing. So, I mean, if I'm making up a lineup, what you're probably gonna see tomorrow, probably something like this. Well, they probably would start Rooney at the center. Probably see something like this maybe tomorrow. I know they like Krabby and the way he's been playing, so you got to insert Gauthier. If Gauthier is not in the lineup tomorrow night, then I'm probably not even watch the game. Well, maybe I will just watch Rayonen, and then you got to split up these guys because, probably something like that. I really like the way Zach Jones played yesterday. I mean, if I'm going to take any good from that game last night, it's the way Zach Jones played. I thought he played pretty damn good. This is just kind of where we are, man. I mean, it's the end of the season. I think it looks like Georgiev's getting the start. I just don't think we're going to see much else. I mean, there's no. Not only will we have to win out, but like we need Boston to lose every single game, and that just. I think they play Buffalo 2 more times and the Devils twice. They're not losing, dude. So, I mean, at this point, you play the kids. I honestly wouldn't even mind it if they sat Blackwell and called up Tyroning. I mean, at this like what we really have nothing to lose at this point. Let the kids play. Let the kids play. I mean, as good as the season as Blackwell had, is he really gonna be a long-term piece of this team? Odds are no. I mean, there's a chance he could, but odds are no. So maybe give Ronning a shot. Kid earned it. Played the balls off this year. Had a great season. Let Gauthier play, for the love of God. When Gauthier does eventually leave this team and go somewhere else, he's going to light it up. He's going to be so good. Give him a good center on the top line. He's going to be so freaking good. Just get out of his way. The kid drives, and that's another thing. I mean, you're playing against a physical Islanders team. You don't have Chris Kreider. Who the fuck's going to drive the net? You're putting Colin Blackwell over Julian Gauthier. Now, the coaching situation going into the offseason, I don't think the Rangers are going to make a coaching change. I don't even know if they should. It's such a weird situation. I don't know if you should or would make a coaching change on a team this young. Aside from just questioning the lineups that Quinn puts together, I don't know what he's like behind the scenes. I don't know what the players think of him. I don't know his game plans. Definitely don't think they're effective, but, it's neither here nor there. I don't know. I really don't know. This is still a young Rangers team, and as much as I'm sad that we didn't make the playoffs this year, going into the season, I'm almost positive, I could be wrong, that almost positive the Rangers were the youngest team in the NHL, the youngest team in the entire league. And they fought tooth and nail in the toughest division in hockey and almost squeaked in the playoffs. And again, the season's not over yet, but at this point, I'm pretty fair to throw up the white flag, especially when you call up all the young guys, that the season's over. But they fought tooth and nail, and they almost friggin' made it. They were very close to doing it, man. So, I mean, I don't know what you attribute that to. I don't know if you attribute that to straight up David Quinn. Is it just the top players carried us? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. And that is something that we'll discuss in that Good, Bad, Ugly video. But I don't see the Rangers making a coaching change in the offseason. I really don't. If we were expected to be a playoff team and we didn't, he probably get shit canned, but we were not expected to make the playoffs, especially in this division. I think we were projected to be 6th in this division, and we're going to end up 5th. By a pretty good margin, too. So, oh man. We'll see. Well, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, but, fuck. I guess for the meantime, we'll be able to look forward to watching the young guys play and do what they got to do, and I won't say it's meaningless hockey because to some of these guys it is meaningful hockey. A player like Libor Hayek playing for a spot next year. Zachary Jones playing for a spot next year. Rayunin playing for a spot next year. Georgiev playing to stay. Brendan Smith playing for his next contract, whether it's here or somewhere else. Buchnevich playing for his raise. Hedl playing for his raise. Kravtsov playing for his spot. Blackwell playing for his spot. Gauthier playing for a spot. Rooney. Barron. Even if we're not competing necessarily with other teams this season, a lot of the players on this team right now are competing amongst each other to earn a spot on this team and make money next year. So it should be interesting hockey. Now, unfortunately, it's not that playoff hockey we all wanted and we're kind of chasing after and we're getting a little excited for, but hockey's hockey nonetheless. And, we sit here, we complain. I say, I'm not going to watch the game, but you know what? If I don't, I'm going to regret it because in 2 or 3 weeks' time, when there's no Rangers hockey, I'm going to have a void in my life. I'm like, damn, I really miss watching the Rangers play hockey. And then got to wait 6-7 months, however long it is for the season to start again. And it's just a really shitty cycle. So, I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know what to expect going into this offseason. I know what I want going into this offseason. We'll do this really quickly because I have a couple ideas and opinions of what I think should happen going into this offseason, what the Rangers should be looking at. Now, I am not taking shots at Ryan Strome because Ryan Strome not only exceeded expectations, but Ryan Strome, listen, he proved that he is not just a product of Artemi Panarin. Because when Panarin was hurt, Strome was putting up numbers, baby. He was buzzing. Let me just sign everybody out real quick. Team New York Rangers. All right, so I don't think Buchnevich gets $6 million. I mean, if I'm the Rangers and I'm re-signing Buchnevich, 5 times 5 I think seems reasonable for Buch. Hedel, you probably see probably similar like what Lemieux got, maybe like 2 times 1.5. Is that 15? Yeah, something like that, like 1550. Okay, yeah, probably something like that for him. Gauthier, if he doesn't get plucked, you see that. Lindgren's an interesting one because if I'm the Rangers, like, I mean, I'm a big fan of signing young long term, saving money. I don't think he gets like an 8-year deal, but like you could see Lindgren maybe get like a 7-year, like $4 million a year kind of deal, right? So 7 is 20, so 28 times 7, something like that maybe, or 28 over 7 rather. Sorry, maybe something like that, or maybe see 4.5 a year. Takes Smith's contract basically. We'll call it 4. We'll call it 4. God, Lindgren's contract comes up next year, really? Huh. Cjethsyt. No, I think Cjethsyt they try to lock up long term. Cjethsyt, you maybe do like 8 times 6. Or 8 year, $6 million a year, 8 years, something like that maybe. I hope Howden gets. I'm not even gonna fucking sign Howden because he's a waste of space. So maybe see something like this. Botetto's definitely a scratch. Do that. D'Angelo gets bought out. Skinner, Schneider, Wally. You don't see any of these guys. Maybe you see Rayunin. I'll put him in the scratches for now. Boom. Laffy with them. Strom, Kravtsov. Do that. Rooney, I don't think is losing his spot on that 4th line. I think he's kind of the 4th line center right now. Blackwell is definitely a candidate to be taken by Seattle. I'm not sure if he will, but he's definitely a candidate. And then you go sign reserve list. Where is Nils? I think Nils signs and plays next year. You probably see something like this, maybe. That's maybe a little more likely. Probably don't see any really forward prospects coming over. They signed, what's his name? They signed Payuniemi yesterday. He's not going to be in the NHL right away. He won't be. I think you're more likely to see probably like, you might see Timmy Getz fight for a spot. I would say that's pretty likely. I mean, unless the Rangers have somebody in mind going into free agency. I don't think they do. But well, let's see. They'd be looking for a forward. Not really very many forwards that are sticking out, like guys that they're gonna like, run at head first. I mean, maybe like a Glendening. I doubt Cjethsyt leaves the Islanders. Blake Coleman will be nice, but I don't think he comes to the Rangers. Yeah, I mean, there's not really any free agents to me that are like, oh wow, we need this guy. None of these guys really stand out to me that we need because at least when it comes to free agency signings, the Rangers are probably looking at depth pieces. So you know what, we'll do this. We'll just do Gettinger. Do something like this. Timmy Getz. There's your 4th line guy right there. And now, if it ain't Gettinger, it's Blackwell. So you do that. Probably something like this. Maybe more likely if Gauthier stays. And then you run into this. I mean, you do have $10 million in cap space to work with. Now, when it comes to re-signing, you got Fox's contract next year. Georgiev probably gone. You got to sign Kakko. You got to sign Mika. You got to sign Kravy. But if you do something along the lines of, like I said, making a big trade, and I don't know if Eichel is the answer to all of our problems, but he's certainly, I mean, he's Jack Eichel. I mean, the Rangers are going to have a top 15 pick this year, so you got to start with a first round pick. Oops, come on. So you start with a first round pick. They're going to want Kravtsov. They're probably going to want Zachary Jones. And probably like a Hedel, and like that's a lot to give up, man. Like that's like, I mean, I know you're getting Jack Eichel, but that's a lot of talent to give up right there. You're talking about potential top line winger, potential top line center. Who knows what that first round pick turns into, and a potential top pairing defenseman. So who knows? I mean, even like let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say for some reason that happens. You probably do something like that. I mean, listen. Look at it. Don't look at it as first, second, and third line. Look at it as your rolling three lines. Probably end up with something similar to this if the Rangers don't send Strome back in the deal. You have $4.5 million in cap space. Isn't even that bad. You would need to call up a forward, so it would probably be they'd probably call up Barron. Blackwell's probably, or not Blackwell. Probably Gettinger rides Pine. And then you run into not as much of an issue because I bet you the Rangers at least entertain the idea of re-signing Brendan Smith. And Smith, if you get him 1 year, about almost $2 million. Ooh, that's $19 million. Whoopsie daisies. Hold on, Smith. I like it, but not that much. Whoopsies. Take all those zeros. There we go. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You spread the wealth a little bit. You got boom, boom, boom. That's not bad at all. I really can't complain about that defensive core. Everyone gets a year older, year more experience, year stronger. That's perfect. You got your 2 goalies, and you got your 4 forward lines that look pretty strong right there. But who knows what happens? I don't. You still have the expansion draft. You still have a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the offseason. Stuff that we can't predict. Just we got to sit back as a fan base and watch. Do the Rangers make a big move? It's certainly been hinted at that the Rangers were looking to make a big move and had an offer for Eichel last year, so you got to imagine they do circle back to that and take a look at it. But my dog gonna just continue to bark at nothing? She's just been barking, why not? But who knows? I mean, we could just sit back, watch, enjoy, and hopefully the Rangers, regardless of what move they make, let's just hope it's the right move and then helps us long term. I mean, quite frankly, do the Rangers really even need to make a move this offseason? Not necessarily. I think the Rangers have all the building blocks in place to just let the kids grow and the team build itself. But then again, you also have the assets to get pretty damn good right now. And I think you'd have a hard time convincing anybody that the first round pick, Hedel, Jones, or Kravtsov, as individuals, will be better than Eichel. However, would you have been better off long term with those 4 pieces? Who knows? That's really all I got for right now. I don't want to dig too much deeper because, like I said, I got this video I'm making right there. I'm still setting up for it. I don't want to. I'm not repeating myself in that video, but season's pretty much over, guys. I mean, I'm gonna hold out hope. You never know what might happen. You never really count anyone out. But it's pretty much over. But we'll still watch. We'll still enjoy. We still got 7 games left, or no, we got 5 games left, right? 51. Yeah. We only got like 5 games left, so you know what? Let's watch the kids play. Let's enjoy it. We're still watching. We got to watch Alexi Lafreniere, Capo Caco, Panarin, Zibanejad, Foxling. We got to watch all these guys play, grow throughout the season. I mean, if you want them to make the playoffs this year, it's not a success. However, in my opinion, this season so far has been a success because they have exceeded expectations. But I digress. I'm done. Thank you for watching. Hearing aids. Whew. Trip myself up there. Comment below your thoughts on the season. Comment your thoughts on what happens next in the last 5 games. Who plays, who doesn't, who should, who shouldn't. And we'll talk from there, guys. Thank you for watching. Love you all. And I'll try to be more consistent, I promise. Peace.